All right, I think we're live. Hey everybody, thank you for being here today. We're here with Sarah-Diane Eck. She's the founder of Loom. And it sounds like you guys had a pretty successful launch yesterday. Do you want to start a little bit on how all that went?
Yeah, sure. So thank you very much, John. We are so happy to be here and to have the opportunity to let the Cosmos community ask questions about Loom. So as you said, yesterday we did our mainnet launch. So it went pretty smooth and we managed to launch it successfully. So happy to be live for this end of the year. And yeah, we are very impatient to launch the next steps of the network now.
Yeah, perfect. Congratulations, by the way. That's awesome.
Yes, thank you.
So do you want to work on a little bit of background on yourself? Do you want to tell us like what you've done in the past in the crypto space and how you got here?
Yeah, sure. So I started to build in the blockchain space since 2016. So a year ago, I made a successful exit in this blockchain space. I've been passionate about tech for the past 10 years and also innovation. And I have an engineering, business, and also legal background. And what I am convinced is when you mix those three subjects, you can innovate in a way to empower people in the digital space. So I love helping projects and entrepreneurs, and I'm also the vice president of France Digitale, which is the biggest nonprofit organization for tech entrepreneurs and investors in Europe. It is the most representative in the industry. And my mission there is to push the development of blockchain at the European scales in terms of use and also regulation.
Wow. So you have a crazy background. That's amazing. Sounds like you're perfectly lined up to fill this role. So Sarah, do you want to tell us a little bit about Loom and do you want to tell us about the protocol and where the concept came from and just fill us in a little bit?
Sure. So Lum Network is a layer 1 protocol based on Cosmos SDK. And what we have built is a set of tools to help businesses, merchants, to create trust with their customers, their users, and engage them and also reward them for their participation. So actually, the idea came from my past job, because back in 2016, I was leading the data privacy team of a listed digital marketing company in Paris. And one of the topics that really caught my attention was the fact that it's very difficult for brands, merchants, retailers, and so on, to interconnect in a common reward system to make it more accessible to the user and to have something that is really user-centric. And this was, a business topic we were discussing and building. And I was like, okay, blockchain can be a good technology for that. So from this idea to the Loom idea, there were a lot of steps and evolution and so on. We are really happy with the technical choice we made with Cosmos. And one of the big challenges we had was to find actual partners that are, real life partners that already build, network of consumers, but also retailers and brands and so on. So that was what we have built in terms of technical aspects, business and ecosystem aspects to have something in real life, and also products to make it accessible for the mainstream users.
Wow. So do you want to talk a little bit about the partnerships you've been working on?
Yes, so the first partner that we have is also a launch partner, is Skippers. Skippers is one of the leaders in the review industry and consumer engagement industry. So they raise more than 100 million euros this year to make external growth and be able, to be at the whole stage of customer engagement. So their latest acquisition was the two biggest influencer platforms Octoly and Ivancy. So we have now a network of 400K influencers. And one of the job and the mission we are doing with them is their role is also to collect content that users generate for brands and retailers and so on, like reviews, ratings, and so on. And they are a trusted third party. So their goal is to collect independently reviews and then have the ability to share them through Google, Trustpilot, and so on. But the big issue of those networks is the trust, because you cannot be sure that some reviews are not deleted, for example, and is this review really trustable? Is there a real consumer behind it? So what we do basically is we have a way to authenticate and make all the review processing more transparent and traceable. But we also have a reward system, because when you produce content, it creates value. It creates value for the brand, it creates value for other consumers who get information, and it's normal to get like a recognition for the value that you create. But the problem is, if you start to incentivize review, you can easily fall into paid review system. So what we do is a way to make the reward process very transparent, and anyone can check that for every review, every rating, that a 1-star, for example, a 1-star review has the same level of rewards that a 5-star review if they have the same quality. So this is what we are building with them, and it's actually the new development trends, because people are more aware that their data have value. So it's good to empower people and have the sufficient recognition to engage them. So, and at some point, I think in the crypto community, it's very easy to understand that, because we engage people the same way that we engage people in crypto community, with airdrop, with trusted content, with reputation, and so on. So the goal is really, in a way, to replicate what we are already building in the crypto space. I mean, we as all, Cosmos members, Osmosis members, and so on, but to make it accessible for brands, retailers, and also users, and have a more sustainable and more fair system.
Yeah, so it's like a tamper-proof review system, and it's on the blockchain, but it's also interconnected with all of the chains already. That sounds pretty powerful, I'm not gonna lie. So you talked about Skeepers. On your website, I saw Lumkey. Is that different? Yes. Okay, that's an app, right?
Yeah, so Lumkey is basically a custodian wallet that we created, that we build for users, to collect their Loom and have the ability to use them to other retailers and to cash them out. And basically, it's a custodian wallet, because we want mainstream user not to be completely lost when they start to use crypto. But it's also a good gateway or entry point for them, because I'm convinced that when people start to have some crypto, and we need to make that with a very good user experience to not have them completely lost. But when you start to have crypto and start to understand it, then our mission is to let them enter the real crypto world in a way. So our mission is to, at some point, say, hey, you can go to Minscan, you can start to stake your Loom, to delegate them, and so on, and to start having crypto. And then going into the interchain is better, because it drives user adoption in a smooth way.
Wow, smart. It sounds like you're thinking the other way. Instead of starting with crypto, you're starting with the main appeal, like what's the platform that's going to create a mainstream audience, and then you want to sort of sneak crypto in there.
Yes, yeah. But I think, some people enter crypto through technical and also all the blockchain area. But a lot of people I'm seeing around me started to have some crypto in their hands, going to exchanges and so on. And then they start to understand, all the dynamics and economics behind it. And it's also good, you know, to let people explore and experiment this. And as it is reward, they are not taking a lot of risk, because at the end of the chain, there are the brands and merchants and so on that are financing rewards for people. So that it's a very good opportunity for them to enter the crypto world and the Cosmos world.
Yeah, so I mean, the brands are building reputation, the users are earning crypto, and pretty much everybody wins because it's like organic marketing.
Exactly, exactly.
Cool. Just real quick, it looks like we have a question already. So for those of you watching, there is a Q&A section. If you guys want to start throwing in some community questions in there, we'd be happy to answer. I have a couple that I'm going to go through real quick just to sort of get a flow on this. But you did kind of answer this. I just wanted to pop it on real quick, Sarah. Damien wants to know, do you have a mobile app?
Yeah, so we already have a mobile app. It's called Lumkey. It's a custodian wallet for users where they can receive the Loom token for the content they generate. But we also have a cashback system in the app that allows people to get cashback in Loom through the purchase they make. So it's a basic cashback system, but instead of having cash, they have Loom back. So we already partner with 1,000 merchants, online merchants, basically. And it's an entry point also to develop the use of the Loom.
Do you mind if I put the link in the chat?
Sure.
Cool. So yeah, this is from the Loom Network. You can find the Lumkey wallet and check that out if you'd like.
Yes.
Cool. All right. I just wanted to ask, Sarah, why did you guys build it on Cosmos? Why did you choose this ecosystem and not necessarily, you know, Ethereum or smart contracts or something?
Yeah, so we started using Cosmos before ABC, and we believe that protocols need flexibility in the way that they need to evolve to fulfill their mission. So it makes sense for us to have our own layer and interconnect with other protocols. And we made this choice quite early, as I said. So back in 2018, we made we started to develop in beginning of 2019, and technically it was the most advanced SDK and tech tools available. So it was a very technical choice. And what I want to say also is that very recently we had the opportunity to meet the Cosmos community in real life. It was in Lisbon, and we were even more convinced about our choice, because we were so happy to see that Cosmos people are really want to build something. They are builders. So we we were glad about, you know, all the supportive mentality, the philosophy, and the value that we share also. And yes, it's a very supportive and welcoming community. So you have it was actually the best choice ever, because you have this tech, which is really good, the tech vision, and also the community, which are a community of builders and supportive people. So yeah, I think it's the best choice ever.
That's really great to hear. Yeah, I couldn't agree more. There's so much support, like with anything you want to do in Cosmos. So it's a perfect place to build. Perfect. What role do you see Loom Network playing within the Cosmos ecosystem? I guess, how do you think it could make an impact?
Yeah, so we are just at the beginning of all that we can build. Actually, there are many things we are already discussing to build reviews for the interchain with some project protocols and to create like some reputation system, decentralized reputation system. And this is a big topic that we are working in and right now. But also, as I said, the mainstream adoption is something that can be a really great opportunity for the Cosmos ecosystem, because we need to broader to make, you know, mainstream user enter also this ecosystem to make it even more powerful and developed. And this is, I think, the next step for all blockchain projects. So by providing tools for brands, merchants, and also very simple to use product for consumer, we want to fulfill this mission and have an education mission also around the project.
Yeah, it sounds like you definitely make it accessible to sort of more mainstream users, but also capture some of the crypto market heading that way too. And that really, like, when things work that way, it's sort of magical because you kind of get this grassroots effect where, you know, somebody's making some Loom using the Loom Key wallet, and then they tell their friend and they're like, so what is this? And they're like, well, you can set it up like this. And then they start using it and they don't even realize that it's crypto.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's perfect. So what are some ways that Loom Network will integrate with other chains and services throughout Cosmos?
Yes.
You guys are planning on enabling IBC pretty soon, right?
Yes, it's already IBC enabled, actually.
Oh, wow. Nice.
And yes, as I said, we have a mission to build a decentralized reputation system. But what we will already do in the next few days, and this is an announcement, is that we are launching a LBP, liquidity bootstrapping pool on Osmosis. So it will start on December 17, and it will last 3 days. And yeah, we will start entering, and connect with other chains doing that. So
nice. So yeah, so you're going to be listed on Osmosis starting on Friday, and then after that, will you be on SIFchain or Gravity Dex or?
Yeah, of course, the goal is to extend in the Cosmos ecosystem.
Cool.
Yeah.
Perfect. That's exciting to hear. So on your website, it says that you're the first decentralized protocol for businesses to build authentic trust with their customers. That's a pretty big statement. Is that true?
I mean, there are other projects that are doing, for example, reviews and blockchain. Not protocol, but reviews and blockchain. We have, for example, a project called Revain, which has been launched a couple of years ago. They reach a 1 billion market cap, and so far they have recorded and stored 100,000 reviews. And with Skippers, because I didn't mention the volume that Skippers is generating, but with Skippers we will do that in 1 day from the launch.
Whoa, that's insane. So yeah, you're pretty much blowing the competition out of the water.
Yeah, so I mean, the fact that we started to build like for 5 years allows us to have a good position where we have, built a protocol, but also the partnership. We are not trying to build our own community of users and so on. It's a protocol, so we can let other companies directly use the protocol in a non-exclusive way. And the protocol is hosted by a non-profit foundation to make it really transparent and to, really foster the development of the Loom. And we are not here to make like revenues or turnover or profits. We are here to make businesses and users use the protocol. So in that way, it's kind of the first project that has this very specific angle to tackle the blockchain space and make this use and foster trust between user and businesses, not with one specific use case, but with a lot of different use cases that at some point can interconnect.
I see, that makes sense. So it's more of a framework.
Yes, exactly.
Instead of like a specific app, so that other platforms will be able to adopt it onto their systems. Awesome, that's exciting. So you guys launched yesterday. Things are going pretty smooth. How can people start using Loom or trading it? You said that's going to be on the Osmosis LBP pretty soon, but is there a way to, I guess, put Loom onto these wallets or the apps that are connected to it?
Yes, so what we have done also is that we made an airdrop to Atom stakers from on the Cosmos Hub and also to liquidity provider on Osmosis. So those people can already start to delegate their Loom. We start to have a very good set of validators right now that you can check on our tools. On Lum Network, you have the Explorer, the wallet, and you can already start, to stake and enter, this game. And also, of course, with the LBP that is coming, people will be able to get Loom, so to buy Loom and also to provide liquidity. So this is the first steps that people will be able to do with Loom in the coming days, actually.
Yeah, there we go. Happening this weekend.
Exactly, happening on Friday. Yes, so very close. We have a big week this week.
Launching everything, getting everything listed, and
yes.
Do you want to talk about the Loom Roadmap?
Sure. So the first steps the first steps was to launch the mainnet and to start the liquidity. But Skippers integration will start in January. And this is a big integration to make because today they are generating more than 50 million of reviews every year. They have access to a network of more 100 millions of users working with tens of thousands of retailers, brands, and so on. So, it's a big volume to integrate, and we will start that in January. So from this point, it will provide an organic demand and volume on the networks. So the mission we have is to lead, all this use case and organic volume, and also at the same point develop the crypto community. So, but this is a big step that is coming in January, so very, very soon. And we have been working for more than 1 year on that now, on those integrations that are not kind of trivial. So we are getting ready now. And this is the next step that we cannot wait because in terms of volume and adoption, for me, it's kind of a dream to be able to see that and being at the front row on this path and seeing all those developments. And from the first day I, started to be interested in the blockchain and crypto community, I was like, okay, we need people to have people understand what it's happening right now, because I think the evolution of this space are amazing, and it needs to be, really developed everywhere and at a large scale.
I can feel your excitement. You're so excited about it. It must be like a compression point, right? Like you've been working on this for so long, and then finally the chain is launched. You're doing the airdrop, the liquidity is there, and then like not even just a month away, you're going to be having it integrated onto this platform.
And
pretty wild.
It's a collective work, because with my team we have been working on that for years now, and we had no churn. Every people that started to work in the Loom project are still there now. And it's amazing to see all this engagement. And also, with Skippers Group, a lot of team members of Skippers are really engaged in the project because they also believe that they can bring reviews to a next level, to be more innovative. And it's the feeling of excitement comes from the community and the team, because it's always the community and the team that make good projects. So so now we need to scale and extend and still continue to fly.
Loom to the moon, right? I saw the proposal that you guys put out. That's pretty cute. So yeah, I think that's the end of my questions. This is actually a perfect time for the community to speak up. If you guys have any interest that you want to know, any questions answered, it looks like there's a couple, so I'll cover those in a moment. Sarah, I know people are curious, but when are they going to be able to vote on a proposal? Soonish? Sorry, one day?
One day.
Oh, there we go. Actually, that kind of leads me to another question that I have. What kind of I guess what kind of proposals do you expect to see on the Loom network? Like, do you think it's mostly going to be like parameter changes, or how will the community sort of decide on the future of Loom? It's going to be mostly parameter changes?
Yes.
Gotcha. All right. It looks like there are a few questions. Damien wants to know, is the pool going to be Osmo Lum?
Yeah, the first pool will be Osmo Loom, exactly. So get your Osmo ready.
There we go. I do have a little bit ready for it. Damien also wants to know, where does the Loom price come from? Where is the price discovery mechanism?
Yeah, so we did a small strategic and private sale. The private sale was at 0.008. And the whole goal of the liquidity bootstrapping pool is to make this discovering price. So the base price is 0.008. And yeah, we will know more about the price in a few days now.
Yeah, so it's going to be listed on Osmosis at what price? Is it 1 penny?
So that's the goal of the liquidity pool, to make in 3 days, depending on the volume and traction and so on, the price will be set.
So that will be the moment that the price is decided.
Exactly.
Makes sense. Ivan wants to know a little bit more about how people would be rewarded who rate the product.
Yeah, so that's the whole point, and that's a very good question. Actually, people can be rewarded with a lot of things, Right now, we are in the business, keepers business, they are already being rewarded with Amazon vouchers or things like that. And they could be rewarded with points and so on, but we choose to reward them in Loom token. And in terms of tokenomics, it's really important because people will get Loom, and those Loom cannot be used until they reach a $20 threshold. That means that for this period, the user will become a natural crypto holder, So there will be, the more the adoption will be fostered, the more holding mechanism will be in place. And this is actually good in terms of demand creation. But it's also good in terms of aligning people with the fact that when they reproduce a review, this review will be stored, the hash of the review will be stored on chain, and also the rating. So this will generate transaction. When they will get a reward in Loom, it will generate transaction. So they will participate, to the development of the Loom network. And it's really interesting to see that they will get the same reward that they are naturally making evolving, So it's good to have this alignment. And Loom, the word Loom, we discussed about where the idea comes from, but the name comes from light. Loom mean, and you have that in English too, with luminous.
Oh yeah, like lumens.
And in French, because I think people can guess that I'm French. I saw a question, she's European, right? So yeah.
There you go.
French, it means light. And we find it interesting that in this value creation and this recognition, you share knowledge and you receive Loom back. And this is something, a mechanism that we find really interesting. And in the new area of evolution of reward, first you add vouchers, coupons, stamps, and so on. And this is too transactional. And the main program is miles when you travel, and that represent the distance you make. And this is, the next evolution, to have something that people can refer to, not in a transactional way, but in a more emotional way. And we think that the digital space and even the blockchain space can be seen as a little bit dark with, we don't know what people do with our data. We don't know how big company like Facebook, Google are using their data to generate revenues and so on. And it's time, to make more light, and also to highlight people that are creating value to make them shine at some point.
That's a really clever metaphor. I love it. And it's super true.
and it's a good ticker. LUM, it's simple, like, for user, they can refer by going to the market and so on much more easily. So.
Yeah, I mean, you're out there spreading the light, and then you get light back. It's like it's energy movements. That's what it is.
Exactly.
That's so great. I love it. All right. It looks like Gama or Garna wants to know where he can actually check the roadmap of the project.
Sure. So the roadmap is fully displayed on the website. So you just have to go to Loom.network, and you have the white paper that is really that is really easy to find. And in the white paper, you have a full roadmap that explains what we have done until today and what we will do the next year. And we stick to the roadmap. So we published this a few months ago, like 6 months ago, and we are still right on track on the roadmap. So for now, that's good.
Perfect. And that's just on the website itself?
Yes, it's on the website. It's directly, there is just white paper. So we have no, this announcement of the mainnet, and just below, you have the first section, and it's on the left.
Oh, yeah, there it is. Get Loom and then white paper.
Exactly.
There you go.
So you can't get Loom right now because, but you will be able in 2 days. So
there you go. And that's the link for the actual specific white paper.
Exactly.
Cool. It looks like some people are asking some more questions. How do you protect against the polarization of reviews?
Yes. So first of all, the way we are building it, you have two big players in the review industry. You have the free deposit review players like Trustpilot and Google, where you don't have any check on people who are making reviews, generating content. And you have partners like Skippers and other players like Power Review, Bazaar Voice, and so on, that are players that make sure to have verified consumer, like that made a purchase. So first of all, we are only working with verified consumers that made a purchase. So it makes the whole verification process more trustable, because it's not people. It's not like a competitor that just want to make a bad review for himself. I mean, you have that. And then the whole goal is to start with this base of verified consumers to build a reputation system depending on the quality that is perceived by like rational parameters, number of characters, if there is a media associated, like a picture, a video, and so on, that improve the quality of the content, but also the way that the community reacts to the review itself. And yeah, this is the way we qualify reviews and content, and this, at some point, it makes polarization more difficult to be developed.
So you can actually rate the reviews?
Exactly.
Cool. Smart. Jer wants to know, sorry. It's the same Loom on the app. It's possible to send them in the Kepler wallet or Loom wallet for a DEX? That's kind of a question that I have too. Like, how does it work when you are reviewing things and you're using is it it's the Keepers app? Or how does that work?
So exactly. So actually, Skippers is the name of the holding company, and Skippers have brands in a lot of countries at the name of verified reviews. They have also other companies like Tister, which is one of the leaders in the video. We spoke about video review. So Skippers is one of the leaders in video review processing. Their job is to qualify video reviews. And the goal is to make users from those, partners to access products like LumKey. So directly LumKey or as a white label, it doesn't change anything. The goal is to have a good product for users to be able to start collecting their Loom, and to create demand and adoption. So, but for the Cosmos wallet, what we have built, so this is really, you know, products for businesses that are open source and easy to use and so on. And for a Cosmos community, we have a wallet and an explorer. It's not an app right now, and not sure that we will develop, you know, product around that, since the Cosmos community has already developed Kepler, and we have with the Cosmos app we can do already everything. So yeah, but yeah, the goal is to start by building this community of mainstream user, and then plans for interconnection and link to the, you know, crypto world.
Gotcha. Got a couple more. Ivan wants to know, the companies who reward customers with Loom for rating, will they accept Loom to buy products?
Yeah, so that's a very good question as well. So the goal, the Loom is both a utility token in a way that it's the token of the protocol, but it's also a payment token in terms, you know, of qualification of the token. And the goal is to have Loom more distributed in a way that it can be used directly on other businesses and so on. To foster that, what we do is that we already let users convert their Loom to fiat before when they reach the threshold and before, you know, buying some product. But the whole goal is to keep the loop in terms of Loom adoption. So yes, that's a good question, and it will be done step by step. But we ensure, you know, a good mechanism by providing this holding mechanism to the users. Because it's, you know, we have been working with retailers, brands, and so on, and it's not easy. There are not easy people to target and to develop this. We are lucky to have already a network of thousands of brands that will be able to use that. But in the future, this is exactly the vision, to have a payment token that can circulate directly between brands and consumer and so on. Yes.
Interesting. So that, I mean, I'm kind of curious now, actually, a little bit. So a lot of the people that will be buying the Loom are going to be the brands, right? Because they're going to be using that to pay the consumers that are doing the reviews, and that's how the consumer gets paid.
Exactly. And you know, brands are already paying a lot of amounts to generate content. Like, for example, a review that is collected for brands. The price of a review is between 10 cents and 100 and even 200 euros sometimes, when you look at the figures. So the way that you can incentivize people and recognize the value creation of people is good. But this is a flow that already exists, and then can be that can support the development of the ecosystem.
Yeah, it makes sense. I mean, I'm pretty sure Amazon does something like that, where they will pay for reviews, or they will send somebody a product, or and then it gets like compensated back once you do the review. So it's kind of the same thing.
Yeah, and everybody is shifting that way, because at some point people know that they are creating value, and that it's to create a video, a picture, it's time. And I mean, you cannot do that every time, and it's not fair not to be recognized for the value creation that you make. But the problem is that if you don't do that in a very transparent way, you lose all the trust. Because if you have a review that is sponsored by Amazon and so on, you can say, hey, okay, this review has been paid. So the value of this review is not we cannot trust that. So if you cannot trust a review, the review loses all its value. The review loses all its value, because the only goal of a review is to be something you can trust. So so to have the traceability and to check every review, to have the ability to have publicly display every review with every reward associated in Loom is very powerful.
Definitely, it has to be credible. I see RT and Fabrice are kind of talking about something. I was hoping you could touch on it. How does the censorship of reviews being handled? Or I guess, how is censorship of reviews being handled? Fabrice says it's reputation-based. If a merchant rejects a review, it will be displayed on-chain.
Yes.
What does that mean?
Oh, so actually, reviews are already very regulated. You have norms, like in French, you have the AFNOR norm and so on. And for example, you cannot display personal information in reviews. For example, I cannot say, oh, I made an AMA with Johnny Brewer, and Johnny Brewer, who lives there, did that. You know, it's not allowed, because private information are not, you know, data privacy compliant, GDPR compliant. You cannot do that. And the same way, you cannot display insults or things. There are, you know, sometimes review that you cannot display. So you have a way to discard and delete a review. But when you do that through the Loom network, you will see that a review has been submitted and didn't pass the review verification, and you will be able to see the rating that was associated. So, for example, if a brand starts to delete all one-star reviews.
Je ne vois aucune app intitulée So You Can Arabe.
Sorry about that. So
no, it's okay.
If you see a merchant that is deleting every one-star review, it will be publicly displayed, and you can say, okay, this one, there is something that is wrong with this one, you know? So this is what I explained when I said we have this reward and review system, which is the core and the most evolved and product and project that can have a very good impact on the Loom development. But we have also the ability to store all reviews and all the process management of reviews to make them transparent in the way they are moderated, they are displayed, collected, and so on.
So it is transparent. Will the companies be the ones moderating it, or do you have like a support team that's going to be doing that? How does that work?
Yeah, it really depends on the partners. So right now, Steepers is doing this job. And the goal is, of course, to develop use cases of that and make more and more blockchain integrations. Gotcha. But from the very first day, each time a review will be collected, to the way they will be displayed, you will have all information that will be stored on Loom Network. And it represents, yeah, I said, dozens of millions of reviews every year. So volume will be, from the first day, great.
Perfect. So Sarah, I don't want to take up too much of your time. I kind of want to do a last call here for community questions. Thank you everyone for being here and checking out this interview. I feel like I've learned a lot. Thank you, Sarah, for informing us. So yeah, if you guys have any last questions, put them in now. This is probably your last chance. And Sarah, do you have any like closing remarks or any last things you want to talk about?
Yeah, I mentioned that we launched the mainnet successfully and so on, but I didn't mention how great was, you know, our community, the Loom community, and the Cosmos, Osmosis, Tendermint community around that. And yeah, I'm really thankful for you, Johnny, to invite me here, but also all the Cosmos members, because yeah, I mean, it's a collective work, and yeah, we were impressed by the attention and support and all the messages we get from this launch. So it's a big pressure. It's a big pressure for the future, but at the same point, it's so much encouraging, because when you put so much time and work and effort and energy in a project, and when you launch it and you have all, you know, this kind of recognition and engagement from the community, it's good. So yeah, if I have a last remark, is to thank all the Cosmos community and my team, which is part of the Cosmos community, of course, for this. Yeah. And you, Johnny, as well, because yeah, the first day we met in Lisbon to here now, and this is
great. I promised you we'd do this, and it happened, and it was such a funny conversation. For those people following, where can they reach you to to have further chats? You have a Twitter, right?
Yeah, I have a Twitter. We are also on Telegram. On Telegram, I am at Sarah-Diane, so my first name. We have a good Discord group also, which is very active, where we have all the discussion with our validators and so on. So either Telegram, Twitter, or Discord, we are very active on those. We try to respond to everyone there, and
Yeah, it's been pretty crazy in that Telegram group lately. There's a Telegram and the Twitter.
Yeah.
Cool. Well, thank you so much for doing this, Sarah. I think that concludes the session. People are done asking questions. I think that was very thorough. Like, we asked a lot of stuff from you. So thank you so much for your time.
Yes, thank you very much, and have a good one, everyone. Bye-bye.
Yeah, thanks, everyone.
Thanks. Bye.